off my neck!
Get 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 off my neck!
Oh, my name is Derek, and this is Sophie. We work in healthcare. We're here to support the movement. We want to see reform, and we want to see it now.
And healthcare, is there a disparity in healthcare? Is there a disparity in healthcare?
Definitely.
What you talk about the reality for African Americans.
The reality is that the healthcare is so scarce for the people of color. That is why in the emergency room, that is the bulk of the people you see, people of color, okay? Because that is their source of health care. There's no primary care physicians. There's no planning. You can't go until it's too late, and then your only option is to go to the emergency room.
What kind of work do you do?
We work in medical imaging. We do x-rays and CTs at Washington Hospital in Fremont, California.
Do you know about Tesla? What's going on with Tesla? You know, there's not many people know about COVID. They have treatments. Are you union? Is it union?
Yes.
What union is it?
Local 6.
Local 6.
Yes.
ILWU?
Yes.
ILWU. You know about the rally on Friday?
I am not aware of it.
Okay, they're having a rally. ILWU Local 10 is shutting down all the West Coast ports.
Okay.
In solidarity with Juneteenth. And they're going to be having a march from the SSA terminal to Oscar Grant Plaza.
Yeah, okay. Now, unfortunately, I mean, we work Friday, so we can't make it. We do work a lot of hours. We're very dedicated to what we do, but we still wanted to try to make it out. To support the cause, to make sure the momentum is kept, because we don't want to see the energy die down until there's change.
Sophie. So yes, I do want to see change. That's why we're out here to support. Majority of people do want things changed, because it can't keep going on like this and keep reading about it and nothing's happened. So we're here to support the cause, to see change, real reform.
I want to go back to your question, is this systemic? The proof is in what you see. Month after month, year after year, the same problems occur, okay? What happened to George Floyd isn't new. It didn't, this is not the first time it happened. It happens over decades, okay? So for someone to say it's not systemic, they just don't want to deal with the problem, okay? And now is the time to deal with the problem. So nobody's going to stop showing up, nobody's going to stop talking, nobody's going to stop contacting their congressmen or women and stop voting until things change.
Philip McElroy.
How old are you, bro?
11.
Why are you here today? What are your concerns about what's going on?
I'm here today because I want to stand up for my people, and I want to stand up for what I think is right for black people. And I think that it's not fair that we get treated any type of way just because they're color of our skin.
How have you been affected by racism?
I haven't really been affected, but I have grown up around it. I've known my history. And
what is the situation with kids in schools today?
Sometimes we get treated differently than some other kids at my school.
How is that? Like example?
Like maybe because we'll probably get like we'll be treated different than other kids. Like when we like have like a bad question, we'll probably get a bad grade. But then when they get in trouble, they go and get a slap on the wrist. But we get a whole spanking.
How do you see the future of this country? Is this your first rally? How many rallies have you been to?
About 3.
Do you like them?
Yeah.
How does it feel?
It feels like I'm doing something right for my community.
My name's Jennifer Steen. I'm a registered nurse in San Francisco. I'm also Vice President of Organizing for SEIU1021. And I came out today because, as Liz just said, she's from our Alameda Labor Council. Enough is enough. We are here today because we need the police violence violence against our communities and against our people to simply come to an end. It's time for us to defund and decarcerate America. We need to bring public services back and increase funding to our social safety net. Coronavirus helped to really make a stark contrast clear. People who are in low-income communities, people who are colored in this country, suffer harsh consequences simply for who they are and where they live. And it's time to say that's enough. The police historically have been those of whom union busted were the tool of empire that helped to make sure labor was always exploited, starting from slave riders to union busting to today, the carceral state, which is too bloated and too big. No more for that. We need to defund it all and invest in public services. Well, healthcare workers and all frontline workers need to be cared for. There's McDonald's restaurants right here in the San Francisco Bay Area, in Oakland, in Berkeley, and El Cerrito, where the workers are getting sick. Healthcare workers are at the apex of insult, because if healthcare workers don't have enough protective equipment, when everyone gets sick, they will not have adequate care because healthcare workers will be too sick to provide care. But when your food service workers are also getting sick, then how can you really be safe? When people are sick in meat factories and people are sick at farms, and you got people like Elon Musk saying, I don't care what the law is, I'm gonna open my factory because I want to make money, that lets you know the value of the worker. The worker needs to be present in order for capitalism to continue. But sick workers make sick people. We cannot allow capitalism to run our lives anymore. We need to dismantle that structure. That's right. That's right. The military budget is extremely bloated. When Trump first came into office, he was determined to increase military spending at the expense of public services. And we see our social safety net has been completely decimated. But Trump's not the only one. Year after year, policies in this nation have put wartime spending over people and public services, and it has got to stop. We need new elected officials. We need reform from our big Democratic Party that says money is not the answer. People are the answer. Rich people keep getting richer. Every single day, Jeff Bezos' fortune expands because people are sheltering at home, and the first thing you get when you do an internet search for a mask, you might get an Amazon hit. The sickness is that as long as we continue to operate within a capitalist structure, rich people will get richer. 75 people in San Francisco alone have billions of dollars in their pocket. Thousands of people in San Francisco are homeless. And what we see is that money continues to funnel in the wrong direction. It funnels to people's individual pockets. Nothing trickled down to the people. It's an unfortunate crime that there is a disparity in wealth, and that leads to homelessness. And it is not an accident. It is strictly by design.
Janine Ray, and I'm here with my son Harrison and my daughter Hallie, and we're here to fight against social injustice and the systemic racism.
I'm the San Francisco County Area Rep for SEIU Local 1021.
And why don't you talk about why you're doing this action today and what George Floyd meant to you?
So today, we're marching for justice. We had to put together this action because black lives are important and black lives do matter. And we have reached beyond our boiling point with what's going on in America with police brutality and the treatment of African Americans, not just from the police, but from everywhere else.
And talk about systemic racism, how you see it.
Systemic racism has been going on for so many years. It's been going on in the workplace. It's been going on in a place like housing and healthcare and law enforcement. So, we have to try to break systemic racism up and end it.
Trump was going to visit Tulsa. What does that mean to you?
Man, Trump ain't gonna visit Tulsa. He not gonna go there unless something gonna go down if he show up. But my understanding is that he actually canceled.
How do you see changing systemic racism in the country?
first we gotta change policies, because right now, it's too many white supremacists that are in office. So in order for us to change systemic racism, we gotta break all that up. So that means that we gotta find grassroots leaders from the communities to start running for these positions, local and federal.
And what is the role of the unions in the United States to fight systemic racism?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
The role of the unions in fighting systemic racism.
The roles of the unions is that the unions actually have to get actively involved in the community. We have to be on the forefront of these movements. We have to try to bring the unions with the community partners all together so we can fight this together.
And privatization of public services, outsourcing, is that a problem?
Absolutely, absolutely, and we are not for that. We don't agree with privatizing. We believe that public sector workers belong to the public, and the public has to have to say in what the public sector workers and how the public sector workers move.
And 43 million unemployed, 44 million people. How are people going to survive in this period?
Well, we got to create more jobs. The only way we're going to create more jobs is that we got to start dismantling the police department and take away some of their funding so we can put that back into the communities.
What about the military?
The military, that too.
Trillions?
Yeah, that too, because we sending too many people all over across the seas. We got so many domestic problems right here in the United States. So we got to cut some of their funding and also put that back into the communities.
And talk about racism in Oakland. How has that affected you? I mean, the murders in Oakland and that kind of thing.
Well, first we got a racist ass mayor. Mayor Libby Schaaf don't give a damn about black people. She's not out here unless it's voting time and she out here pandering for votes. But other than that, we don't see her in the community. We don't see her in the neighborhood. Where's she at in West Oakland? Where's she at in North Oakland? Only time she show up is when it's time to collect votes. So now we not with that. And what she's doing with the city workers, trying to cut all the TPT workers, we don't agree with that neither. Because she know that mostly black and brown folks are these TPT workers. And she's trying to take away those jobs. So now we're not for that. So she got to go.
And gentrification, how is that affecting the black community, the rents and gentrification in housing?
Well, first what we got to do is just start getting rid of all these corporations that's been moving into Oakland, because that's taking a big part of displacing black and brown communities out of Oakland.
Evictions, homeless, thousands of people in tents. Talk about the reality of living in Oakland with mass.
Well, if all that money wasn't going to the police department, we will have enough money to provide services for provide services for housing.
And the issue of health and safety, PPE for workers. You didn't talk about that. Jaber, this guy was fired at Highland Hospital. They're firing workers who were standing up for health and safety. PPE is very important. During this era of the pandemic, we got to make sure that all workers are protected and all workers are safe. And the only way we're going to do that is we have to provide the necessary PPE for us to do our jobs. And they say they don't have it? No mask?
Come on, Steve, that's BS. They got it. They got it. Let's be real. They got it.
My name is Amy. We're here today just because something needs to be done. We need to speak up.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a dental hygienist, and I'm actually here with his firm.
Disparity of treatment. You feel there's a disparity of treatment for systemic racism and the treatment of people?
Absolutely.
Can you talk about it?
I mean, it's just something that's been there, and we tend to get comfortable with the way things are run, and it takes for something major to happen for us to for it to become noticeable again. So it's unfortunate that it takes for these things to happen, but I'm glad to see that this has gotten as much momentum as it has.
And what was it like watching George Floyd be murdered?
It's difficult to watch. I mean, it's difficult to watch any human being being killed, but just it happens more than we know. And like they say, it's just because with the availability of cell phone videos, we're seeing more of it.
My name is Valerie Brown. I am a chef at UC Berkeley. I've been there for about 5 years. And one of the reasons why I'm here is because I'm kind of tired of saying someone else's name. And I'm tired of having a conversation with my 10-year-old nephew of what to do in certain situations. He's 10 years old. My grandparents were born in the 1923. For us to go through the same things that they've been going through, it's like, why hasn't there been been any change. The only thing that's changed is social media and technology. It's still the same mess every single day. While we're saying other people's names, someone's getting killed or even just their rights being taken away from them every single day. It used to be, oh, they're killing black men, but they're also killing black women. And it's not like police are doing it. And that's one thing I fear. It's not just police. It's people that think that they are above police and that they're above God. And for that to constantly happen every single day, that's why we're all here. It's because we're tired of having to educate our kids or our family members on how they should act in the presence of a police officer, when police officers should know how to act in the presence of us. If you are supposed to protect and serve us, then why do we have to be trained on how to deal with you? If I'm a chef and if I make something wrong, if I handle food wrong and someone gets sick, I lose my job. They kill someone and they get paid leave. There's a problem there. It's like little kids have to go through a process of training and learning and growing. But these adults are never held accountable for their actions. It's like, what is that showing our youth? And what is that showing people? Like, if I'm hurting, I can't call the police. My cousin, Reginald Payne, was having a heart attack. He was having a medical emergency. They killed him in the home where his mother lived, where he lived. He had a medical emergency and it went wrong. And it's, who do you call if police are brutalizing your people? Who do you call when you need help? When you fear that something could go wrong at any moment. So that's why I'm here.
Is there racism in the University of California?
There's racism everywhere in the United States and all over the country. I do believe that there may be racial discrimination. There's workplace discrimination everywhere. You may be a woman and you're not going to get paid the same amount as somebody that's standing right next to you. Being a black woman, one of the very few black women that work for UC Berkeley, there's been plenty of times where I went to culinary school, I have my degree, I have all the training in the world, but it wouldn't matter because someone could come in from the street that worked at McDonald's and be a manager above me. And that's facts.
Contracting and outsourcing, how is contracting and outsourcing affecting workers?
Well, there's an app called Pairs. They get paid double the amount that staff gets paid with zero experience. So it's hurtful when you're working, slaving all day, and then someone comes in with zero experience and they can easily take your job.
And in Ashland, you remember a black woman was attacked by the police a couple of years ago?
David Cole.
What did you talk about him?
David Cole's an awesome man. David Cole's the person that would take his shirt off for you if you needed a shirt. And the way that whole situation happened was wrong. It's like, this is UCPD. Why are you treating us as if we have guns in our hands? We're peacefully protesting for our own wages that are probably going to help them as well. And you throw this man to the ground for what? He's no threat to you. No threat at all. But I feel sorry for David Cole. Like, he's an awesome guy. He helps every single person he ever comes around. And for him to get treated that way by the people that he sees every day, that was terrible.
And the money that's going into the police in UC, and the budget of the police in UC?
There are more police officers for UC Berkeley than there is for the city of Vallejo. And I personally don't feel that there needs to be 100 police officers for a college campus. I feel that should be the second resort. We should have mental health advisors that come out to the dorms, because a lot of these kids are just stressed out. Kids have panic attacks, they have anxiety, they're away from their parents for their first time. It could also trigger mental health issues in them. Instead of sending a police officer that's going to cause more fear and scare them, it should be, oh, I'm going to send your counselor, or I'm going to send one of your peers to come and help you, instead of, oh, here's a police officer. It should be a community service officer or someone from the community come and sit down and talk to that person before they result into arresting someone.
And when you saw George Floyd murdered, how did that hit you?
When I saw that, I hate to say it, it was almost like here we go again. That's how I felt. It's sad. When I saw them, like, that's terrible that this man, it's a bee on my hand, it's terrible this man is going through this. His family has to watch that. they're reminded by that every day. When did that family get time to grieve their family member? When we're out protesting, his family has to sit there and remember every single day, like, this is how this happened. And so for me, it's sad. It's like, I seen the way my cousin passed away on TV. And to see this man that happened to him as well, it's like, when does it stop? It's always another black man, this happened. Another black woman, this happened. Another Latino family, this happened. Another person, this happened. And when people talk about, oh, well, what about white kids? Or what about this different group? What about that different group? It's like some people are getting killed because they did something wrong. They're not getting killed because of the color of their skin.
My name is Vivian, and I'm here today because I'm done being silent and America has to pay for what they've done.
My name is Gailey Bergen, and I am here today just to support the rights of Black Lives Matter. What happened in Minnesota and continues to happen across the globe is very disturbing, both impacting my friends and family directly, and I think this is a time to make a change. I'm really excited to see all the diversity, demographics. You got elderly people, young kids, people teaching their kids about diversity at such a young age. This is such a prime moment, and I just want to be a part of it, and I'm so excited to see everybody else out here.
How has it affected your family, racism, your friends and family?
Well, I am biracial, so I grew up with that. I have brothers, sisters, through being profiled. You know, so I haven't been physically harmed, but I've had the mental anguish of being profiled. And then I just had a coworker that was shot and killed in Los Angeles by the CHP, and it's still under investigation.
What kind of work? What union? What kind of work was he doing?
He was driving. He was pulled over. And he was, we don't know why he was pulled over. We just know he was pulled over, and he was shot multiple times. And that happened on May 4th. And his name is Mark Jones. Long live Mark Jones.
Do you think it's a systemic problem, the whole issue of racism and treatment?
I definitely believe it is a systemic problem. It goes from the institution itself. If you look at this, the variance in crimes and how the consequences, depending on your race, and the consequences can be more steep if you are darker complected. If you look at the police unions itself and how that's structured, if you look at our prison systems, from the top, from our president, commander-in-chief, down to the bottom, it needs to change.
My name is Catherine. I'm the president of the 27,000-member union that works at the University of California